Hello children, welcome to today's session. Children, now look at this picture and tell me what will come to your mind when you look at this. When you are looking at the soil, land and water, we can make out these are the natural resources. And one common thing in this picture is these resources support all the forms of life. So this is very essential. So then what are we going to learn in today's session? We are going to learn about the usability, availability, distribution, limitations, and how can we conserve these resources. So first, let's learn about land. What is land? It is the outermost rocky layer of Earth's surface. Children, now look at our Earth. How do you feel? Our planet Earth is so beautiful, isn't it? Look at the color, that blue and green, how beautiful it looks. But why ma'am is talking about the colors? Is there any relation between the colors and our lesson today? Yes, there is a relation. Look at the earth now. There are two colors, that is blue and green with brown, right? So here the blue color indicates the water body of the earth, and the green with brown, that indicates the land of the earth. So the major part of our earth is covered with water, that is about 70% of the earth, and remaining 30% of the earth is covered with the land. So the availability of land on the earth is only 30%. So only 30% means the availability of the land is very limited and fixed. Here children, out of 30%, not all the 30% is habitable, because only 30% out of 30% is available land, and that land is used by 90% of the world's population. And the next term is land use. What does it mean? The use of land for various purposes. For example, residential, agricultural, recreational, and commercial purposes is termed as land use. And land resources can be put to many alternative uses. For example, a piece of fertile land is used for growing crops, whereas mineral rich land areas are used for mining. There are two types of land use patterns. They are the physical factor and the second one is human factors. Physical factors include topography, climate, soil types, availability of water, and nature of rocks and minerals. While human factors comprise density of population, technological abilities, customs, and ways of living. Do you know children, the pattern of land use is not same everywhere. It may vary from one region to another. Over a period of time, it may also change within a region. Why this is happening? This is because of the growing population. Our needs and demands, wants are also increasing. For example, growing need for clean water and food, technological advancements, etc. So because of this, there is a increase in pressure on land resources world over. For example, nowadays the forest areas are also being transformed into agricultural land. Why? To meet the demands of the humans. What is the main occupation of India? That is agriculture. So India is an agricultural country. So here we can see mining and manufacturing industry in very specific regions only. So India has undergone considerable changes in its economy over past few decades, and this has affected the land use pattern in the country to a great extent. Now let me show you the pattern of land utilization of India. So for example, here the cropland of India is covering 57% and 4% is for pasture. 22% is used for forest, and the 17% of land was used for other purposes. So next, let's learn about the classification of land. Land can be classified in many ways: on the basis of relief features, on the basis of fertility of soil, on the basis of development of area, and on the basis of ownership. On the basis of relief features, land is classified as mountains, plains, and plateaus. And in India, plains covers almost about 43% of the land area, and which is used for agriculture and setting up of industry. And the next is mountain, that covers 30% of the total surface area, and which are the home to a variety of animal and plant species. And the plateau region, it covers about 27% of the total surface area of the country, and also they are rich in mineral deposits. On the basis of fertility of soil, land can be categorized as fertile land and barren land. Fertile land is capable of producing abundant crops and it is thickly populated, while the barren land is very dry. It is not suitable to grow crops and vegetation. On the basis of development of area, land is classified as urban land and rural land. So here, under urban land, it covers the land of cities and towns and benefits from industrial development. While in the rural land, it includes the countryside and the villages. So they are mostly engaged in agricultural activities. On the basis of ownership, land is classified as private land and community land. Here the private land is owned by individuals, while the community land is also called common property, which is owned by or managed by the government or a community for the service and assistance of the society. For example, forests, fisheries, etc. Next, we are going to learn about land degradation. What does it mean? It is the decline in the productivity of cultivated land and forested area is referred to as land degradation. What are the factors responsible for the degradation of land then? It includes soil erosion, deforestation, overgrazing, urbanization, mining, industrialization, urban garbage disposal, shifting cultivation, and desertification. And the next topic is land conservation, which means the attempts made by people to plan land use very thoughtfully and judicially to check the current rate of land degradation is known as land conservation. And some common measures adopted for conservation of land resources. They are afforestation, check on overgrazing, crop rotation, monitored use of chemical pesticides, insecticides and fertilizers, land reclamation, proper disposal of industrial waste, controlled mining and organized irrigation. So children, we have learnt about land, land use, classification of land, land degradation and land conservation in today's session. Let's learn about soil resources in our next session.